is going to go for Dazzling Gleam! Dazzling Gleam! That's it! It's over! That's going to take both the Noivern out, and the Heracross team, just like that, are in the semi-finals, facing Lucario. Welcome back to MetroMania. In the last episode, it was quarterfinal 2, and Heracross had a beautiful victory over Noivern. Noivern bows out of the competition and goes home, but it did manage to win one of the rounds, so it wasn't a complete waste for Noivern. It's still left with a little bit of pride and integrity. Heracross moves on to the semi-finals to face Lucario, and now we find our next semi-finalist as Nidoking takes on Scizor. So here we go, it's Nidoking versus Scizor for the third place in our semi-finals. Whoever wins this battle will go on to the semi-finals to face either Arcanine or Kingdra, who will be fighting next week. Let's get this underway. Of course, Scizor has previously beaten Nidoqueen in this competition, so Nidoking has a little bit of personal investment in this contest. We see a knockoff to start things off from regular Nidoking, doing big damage, of course, because Leopard Berries are being held, but does knock off the Leopard Berry of that shiny Scizor. And now we see Bolt Beak, which will be powered up because it's going first from shiny Nidoking onto the regular Scizor there for big damage. More than half Scizor's max HP has gone already. Nidoking with a strong showing. Here's a Quiver Dance, though, from Scizor, going to raise that special attack, special defense, and speed sharply, making this a very, very dangerous Scizor. I mean, Scizor's not really known for special attack, but give it that special defense boost and speed boost, that's very scary. Here's a guard split from the shiny Scizor onto the shiny Nidoking there. Just having a little swapperoo with the old guards, sharing its guard. Why don't you share the subscribe button and give it a good click? And, you know, turn on all notifications and all that so you never miss anything on the channel like WTF, MetroMania, or even Siri battles. Here's regular Scizor going for Avalanche, which will be super effective on that regular Nidoking there. Almost half of Nidoking's HP gone there with that Avalanche. And let's see how it retaliates. It's going to go for Dragon Rush, which will be resisted, I believe, by the regular Scizor there, who's still suffering quite a bit, though. Really not looking too healthy. Shiny Nidoking is going to follow up with Volt Tackle onto which of its opponents here, onto the shiny Scizor there for big damage, putting it in the danger zone. But you got to think, if it would have aimed for the regular Scizor, it would have had one less Scizor to deal with right now. Shiny Scizor goes for Nuzzle, doesn't affect Nidoking, so that's a wasted turn for the Scizor team. But the Nidoking team looking absolutely amazing right now. The Scizor team really don't know what's hit them at this point. Regular Scizor is going to go for Fire Spin, and that's going to trap the shiny Nidoking there in a fiery vortex which will damage it for the next few turns. And now shiny Nidoking is going to retaliate with Bulk Up, so it's going to raise its attack and its defense by one stage apiece. But with you having that Fire Spin timer, you kind of want to go on the offensive a little bit, to be honest. But I guess you're just prepping yourself for when you decide to do that. Here comes the regular Nidoking, though, who's going to go for Gastro Acid and suppress the ability of the shiny Scizor there, which I believe is Light Metal, which means that it's basically shiny Scizor has its regular weight now, for what it's worth. Here's Astonish from that shiny Scizor onto the shiny Nidoking, I should say, there, for a little bit of chip damage, and then the Fire Spin damage following up to make a decent all-round turn for the Scizor team there. They're definitely tackling the Nidoking now better than they were before. And now Scizor's getting ready with that Metronome to go for Fairy Wind, which will be resisted by the Poison-type shiny Nidoking there, but it is down to less than half its max HP, so it's definitely, things are looking a bit more bleak for it. Well, what's it going to do in response? It's going to go for Submission, but it's avoided by shiny Scizor. That would have been a great move. But now, I guess regular Nidoking's going to have to follow up. Goes for Morning Sun, and is going to restore its HP by 50%, which I believe for this Nidoking will put it back at maximum. And yes, it does, so well done to that Nidoking for a great play there, keeping its longevity in this battle. Shiny Scizor goes for Flower Shield, but it does indeed fail. And there's the Fire Spin damage on the shiny Nidoking there, who's really suffering at this point. Needs to get itself out of that Fire Spin, needs to get some HP back. But then again, so did the Scizor team, really. They need to get some HP back. Here's the regular Scizor going for Thunderbolt. That won't affect the Ground-type Nidoking. These guys need to really stop going for Ground-type moves. Regular Nidoking's going to go for Discharge. Won't affect its opponent. Its partner Pokemon, but will affect its opponents. Look at that massive damage there. And of course, shiny Scizor is very much on the ropes in the danger zone right now. Poison Tail doesn't affect the steel type Scizor, so unfortunate play there by shiny Nidoking. Shiny Scizor is going to go for Cross Poison, which will be 4 times resisted by the Nidoking team there. Shiny Nidoking barely feeling that, but it definitely feels that Fire Spin damage, which puts it in the danger zone. not looking as healthy as its partner right now, but regular Nidoking looks to be on point at the moment. Regular Scizor is going to start the next turn, and it's going to go for Razor Shell, which is super effective, a water-type move with a chance to lower defense. I believe 50% chance? Unfortunately, doesn't get that 50% chance, but takes more than half Nidoking's max HP away. And Nidoking responds with Will-O-Wisp, but it's avoided. That's very unfortunate. Could have taken the attack out of Scizor's wheelhouse there, but not to be. We have Luster Purge coming from Shiny Nidoking onto the regular Scizor there. I would be attacking the Shiny Scizor right now because it's basically as good as gone. Regular Scizor is in the danger zone now, though, but here's Shiny Scizor with Rapid Spin, and how much damage will that do? It won't do a great deal, but it's enough to put the regular Nidoking in the danger zone, and the Shiny Nidoking takes more Fire Spin damage and is so close to being knocked out. If that Fire Spin carries on for one more turn, that's the end of Shiny Nidoking. So now we're over to the regular Scizor there, and what's on its mind? It's going to go for Milk Drink. What a great play there. Restoring 50% of its max HP. It is in the danger zone no more. That was a brilliant move right there. What a good last-minute defensive play by regular Scizor. And Shiny Scizor is going to go for Volt Tackle. Doesn't affect Nidoking, so completely wasted turn there. Now, regular Nidoking is going to fire back with Flamethrower, one of the, well, the only weakness of the Scizor team, and it's a 4x, it's a doozy, so down goes Shiny Scizor. Mate, fire-type moves are Scizor's undoing, as many of you may well know. And now Shiny Nidoking is going to follow up. What's it going to do? Going to go for Sleep Powder and put that Scizor to sleep. Oh, my word. Scizor is a sitting duck right now. It's very lucky that it restored its HP back up to maximum. But there's the Fire Spin still going, and down goes Shiny Nidoking. It did one last-ditch effort with that Sleep Powder, but my word, succumbing to the Fire Spin I didn't see that coming. I thought Fire Spin was going to end this turn, but man, the Nidoking team got unlucky. Scizor is fast asleep and cannot attack, so is it just a matter of time before this Nidoking claims the first round? Nidoking goes for Grassy Terrain, which will heal itself and Scizor at the end of each turn. I get it from the mindset of I need my health to be restored at the end of each turn while I've got a bit of a breather, but also get on the attack, because that thing needs to go down if you're going to claim the first fall. You know, don't worry, but you're out of the danger zone now, which is fine, but you really need to focus on your attacks there. Scizor has woken up, so the opportunity was wasted by Nidoking there. And Scizor's going to go for Sacred Sword. That should be resisted by the Poison-type Nidoking. It's down into the danger zone again, though. So Nidoking needs to do something drastic here. He gets ready with the Metronome and goes for Burn Up, but it's not got the Fire-type. Thinking of a Fire-type move was a great idea, but not having the Fire-type means you can't use Burn Up, because Burn Up removes the fire type from something that has said type. That's a real big shame there. Now we have Scizor gearing up with its Metronome once again, ready to fight. It's going to go for double hit, which you've got to think will take out Nidoking, and it does. So let's have a word from our sponsors real quick.
Alright everyone, it's your boy, Ace Trader Liam, reminding you to go get yourself some bloody GFuel! GFuel, for those who don't know, is an energy formula with barely any calories, zero sugar, and a whole heap of wonderful flavours like strawberry slushy that I'm drinking today. I don't even need to describe the flavour of this one to you, because it tastes like a strawberry slushy. What, are you dumb? Oh, that is absolutely beautiful, and what's even more beautiful is you can use the code ACE, which is the official code of our channel, to save yourself 10% off your GFuel order. When you put stuff in the basket at gfuel.com, go to the little checkout box once you've got everything you want, type in the code ACE in the little discount code box, and you will get yourself at least 10% off your order. It gets boosted to 30% sometimes, so maybe it's one of those days. I don't know when this video is going out, but it's definitely 10% minimum. Remember though, GFuel is for over 18s only because it contains caffeine, and children don't need to be anywhere near caffeine. They're annoying enough as it is, and because it contains caffeine, drink it responsibly. Don't be a dickhead.
And we are back with round 2. Scizor leads 1-0. If it wins this round, it goes through to the semi-finals. If Nidoking wins this round, we get a third round where both of them can vie for a space in the semi-finals. So Nidoking really has an uphill battle here, although it has shown it can very much take out the Scizor very easily if it tries. It just needs to try, basically. It just needs to pull its finger out. And here we see Payday from Shiny Nidoking to start things off, scattering coins everywhere. Cheers, mate. I needed 20 quid. And now regular Nidoking is going to follow up, and it's going to go for Rock Blast, which will be neutral. How many hits would it get? Gets 1 hit, guaranteed to get 2 hits. Are we getting a third? We are. How about 4? We're getting a 4th. Are we getting a 5th? We are! There we go! 5 hits from the Rock Blast, and already that's taken a massive chunk of health away from regular Scizor. How's it going to follow up? Its first turn of this round will be Smart Strike, which is a Steel-type move, so same type attack bonus behind it. Guaranteed to hit. Big damage there to the regular Nidoking. Turnabout is fair play, I suppose. And now we have a Heal Bell, which is going to fail from Shiny Scizor, so a wasted turn there. But wow, both teams looking very even from the off at the moment. Now we have regular Nidoking starting off the turn this time. And it's going to go for Present. Shades of Delibird. Keep it shady and all that. Mate. And and it's the healing one, so it heals up Scizor. That's very unfortunate. There was a chance for it to have like 120 base power or something with Present, doesn't it? But got the healing one. That's sad. Nidoking goes for Facade, which is resisted by Shiny Scizor there. And now regular Scizor is looking to retaliate after that little bit of healing. Goes for a super effective Water Shuriken, which is... I expected it to do more damage, but I remember it's a special move, isn't it? I always think Water Shuriken should be physical, but it's not. It's a special attack. We get 3 hits. We get 4 hits with the Water Shuriken. Greninja would be proud. Just 4 hits, though. Super effective, bringing that Nidoking down to less than half its max HP, almost down to a quarter. Bulldoze, though, from Shiny Scizor, which does massive damage to both the Nidoking. Super effective. Obviously, does damage to Scizor as well. And reduces everybody's speed on the field. My word, down goes the regular Nidoking already. So Shiny Nidoking really needs to put the work in here, and its speed has been reduced. So Shiny Scizor is going to start off every turn right now because it's the fastest thing on the field. And it's going to go for Force Palm onto the Nidoking there. Good hit with the Force Palm, not very effective, but paralyzes Nidoking and puts it down to less than half its max HP. Now it's Scizor's turn, the regular Scizor, I should say, and it's going to go for Misty Terrain, so it's going to prevent statuses for the next little while, I believe. Yes, and half the power of Dragon-type moves, if I remember rightly. Something like that. Man, I miss the Gen 6 terrain. Gen 6 and 7's terrains were way better. And now we have Seismic Toss, guaranteed 50 hit points of damage. No worry about the paralysis right there. Nidoking onto Shiny Scizor there, taking 50 whole hit points off of Scizor's HP. I keep wanting to say Scyther. I'm living in the past. And now Shiny Scizor is getting itself ready for another Metronome. And it's going to select Scary Face and reduce the speed of Nidoking even further. Which means that Nidoking at -3 speed is most likely definitely the last thing to move each turn now. Unless Trick Room comes into effect. And here is Kinesis, avoided by Nidoking there, so no worries. It gets a chance to just get a free Retaliate and goes for Nasty Plot, increasing its special attack. Does it have something on its mind? I mean, it's plotting something, obviously. Otherwise, it wouldn't have used Nasty Plot, you silly Billy. But up goes its special attack by 2 stages. And this Nidoking really needs to take one of these Scizor out ASAP if it's going to stay in this competition. Here's Shiny Scizor, who's going to go for Vital Throw, which will be resisted by Nidoking there, but still a decent chunk of damage for a not very effective move. Did I hit my microphone? No, your ears just popped. That's all that was, honest. Here's a Mach Punch from the regular Scizor there. Very close to the danger zone is Nidoking now. It needs a miracle right here to stay in the competition. And it goes for tea time. So everyone's going to eat their berries. How lovely. Everyone's going to restore their PP back to normal. Haha, PP, very funny. Very good. We have to sit through this entire thing, by the way. There we go. There's 1 berry. There's 2 berries. Lovely. And are we getting a 3rd? There it is. There's the 3rd. Tea time, everyone. Very nice. Very long. Very evil. Let's do this. Come on. Move on. We're ready. Nidoking is not going to start the next turn off. It's going to be Scizor, because Nidoking's at -3 speed, remember. Goes for Dream Eater, but Nidoking's not asleep. That's a bad play right there. That's schoolboy error right there. We have Flatter from regular Scizor, which is going to raise the special attack of Nidoking by 1 stage, whilst also confusing it. It's like a... Oh, no, it won't confuse it because of the mist. Oh, very unfortunate play. You just gave your opponent a free special attack boost. Bear in mind, it's now at +3 special attack. I've just realized. Nasty Plot followed by Flatter. No confusion. Goes for Lock On, though. That's typical, isn't it? And now... Which way is this going to go? Because Nidoking's in a good position. It's just, you know, it's in a bad position in the sense that it's against 2 Scizor. That's the downside there. Here's a Leaf Tornado avoided by Nidoking. So over to regular Scizor now. And what's it going to do? It's going to go for Rest, but it can't fall asleep because of the Protective Mist. So what a wasted turn for the Scizor team. Is Nidoking going to capitalize? No, it's going to change itself to a normal type with Conversion. This is awful for Nidoking. It should have gone on the attack. Imagine if it would have used Incinerate right now with +3 special attack. That would have destroyed the Scizor team and equalized the battle. Of course, that paralysis is looming as well. Here's Shiny Scizor, though, starting off the next turn. And what will it do? It's going to go for Dig. It's going to bury itself under the ground. Of course, remember, Dig will be neutral now because Nidoking is a normal type. But Dig has potential to do quite a lot of damage. We see Strength Sap lowering the attack stat of Nidoking from regular Scizor there. That's going to restore Scizor's HP by a fair bit because Nidoking has a good attack stat. That's going to be back up to maximum, isn't it? Yep, regular Scizor sitting pretty like it's turn 1, especially not long after that tea time. Here's Nidoking with Searing Shot, avoided by Shiny Scizor. That's the move you should have used last turn, because that is going to knock out Scizor. I would have taken out the Shiny Scizor, but now you have to suffer the Dig. The Dig is about to happen, and will it be enough to take out Nidoking? Let's find out. The next turn is beginning. We know Scizor's going to use Dig, and here comes that Dig. And just like that, down goes Nidoking. Nidoking is out of the competition. Scizor is going into the semi-finals and will face the winner of Arcanine and Kingdra next week. So now we have the Pride round. Now this is the round, for those who are new to Metromania, where Nidoking finds out if it leaves with its Pride intact. It already failed to defend the honor of Nidoqueen, who also fell to Scizor. Scizor has beaten the entire Nido line in these 2 battles it's had in Metromania. We see Shadow Bone starting things off with Shiny Nidoking. Actually, you know, as opposed to its partner Pokemon that just failed its move. Now over to Shiny Scizor for the beginning of this turn, who's going to go for Volt Tackle. That will not affect Nidoking as a ground-type Pokemon. But, you know, we can't really fault it for... Oh, here's a Thrash, though, from regular Scizor. We can't really fault the Shiny Scizor because last time it hit Nidoking was a normal type. That was massive damage off that Thrash, though. And now we see a regular Nidoking looking to fire back, and it's going to go for Forest Curse. All right, mathematicians and Pokemon experts in the chat. Bug, Steel, and Grass. I want type effectiveness, weakness, resistances, immunities, all in the comments down below. Uproar from Shiny Nidoking, not going to be very effective, but going to be very constant. So we're going to see that much damage for the next few turns off that regular Scizor there. That's big damage from that Thrash, though, once again. That Scizor is dangerous right now. And Shiny Scizor goes for Vital Throw. It tried to use this last round. I think it did use it last round. It did a fair bit. It did a decent chunk of damage there. It got Shiny Nidoking down to less than half its max HP, which is a great play. Now regular Nidoking needs to do something. This is for your pride, man. Come on. Goes for Zap Cannon. That's a great play. And it lands it. Well done landing a Zap Cannon. Does a bit of chip damage there to Shiny Scizor and paralyzes it, though. That takes a little bit of the sting out of Scizor. There's the Uproar still taking place from the Shiny Nidoking. Not a great deal of damage, though. Speaking of damage, here's the Thrash from the regular Scizor, putting regular Nidoking into the danger zone, but the Thrash has ended, and the Fatigue has confused the regular Scizor, whilst the Shiny Scizor is completely paralyzed. So now this is the opening that the Nidoking team need to actually mount some more offense. Regular Nidoking gearing up its Metronome and goes for Seismic Toss, guaranteed 50 hit points of damage there onto the paralyzed Shiny Scizor, putting it in the danger zone. This could be where Nidoking leaves with its pride, continues creating an uproar, I should say, and deals more damage to that regular Scizor there. Regular Scizor is going to ignore its own confusion, though, gear up its Metronome, and it's going to go for Power Whip, which is a neutral attack avoided by Shiny Nidoking, so don't even worry. Nothing neutral about missing. And here is Stored Power from Shiny Scizor. It'll be super effective, but I'm pretty sure Shiny Scizor hasn't had any stat changes, so just 20 base power there. Not a great deal of damage at all. Shiny Nidoking's Uproar has ended, so it can now vary the moves that it wants to use. It doesn't have to be stuck into Uproar. So it's going to start this turn off, and nobody has any idea what it's going to use. It's going to go for Octazooka, which has the potential to lower the accuracy of the Shiny Scizor there. Doesn't quite knock it out there, but also doesn't get the accuracy drop. That's unfortunate. And regular Nidoking follows up with Flatter. We saw this in the last round, but this time there's no terrain to protect Scizor from confusion, but its a special attack stat has gone up by 1 stage as well, though. And now we see the regular Scizor here. I was already confused anyway. That's a good point. Going for Shadow Claw onto that regular Nidoking, and that's gotta be, yep, that Nidoking is down. Once again, Shiny Nidoking, the MVP of its team, is alone against 2 Scizor, but lucky for Nidoking, Shiny Scizor was fully paralyzed, not able to move that turn. Nidoking needs to go to the well. It needs to get itself Earthquake, the bread and butter of a Nidoking. That would sort this battle out. Goes for Steel Roller, but no terrain's in effect, which means that Steel Roller will fail. Over to regular Scizor now, who goes for Fairy Wind. That will be not very effective, but will chip away at that Nidoking. It's getting closer and closer to the danger zone. Shiny Scizor is not paralyzed this time and is going to go for Bullet Punch. That's a standard Scizor move right there. There's the Bullet Punch. Big damage. 3 hit points left on Shiny Nidoking. Shiny Nidoking needs a miracle right now to leave with its pride. And what is it going to choose as potentially the last move of this battle? Goes for Poison Tail, which doesn't affect the Scizor, which means it's over to regular Scizor to end the Pride round, and it goes for Rollout. Not even very effective, but it'll do 3 hit points guarantee. Look at that. Easy peasy. Scizor go the distance. It's a clean sweep. It's a 3-0, and your third semi-finalist is Scizor. So Scizor will face the winner of next week's battle, and just well done. What a dominant victory. It took them a while, but they made it through Nidoking. So make sure you tune in next week. The final semi-finalist will be decided as Arcanine takes on Kingdra. You don't want to miss it.
So thank you very much for watching this episode of MetroMania. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Share this video with a friend. Head to twitch.tv/AceTrainLiam for all of my live streams. And of course, use code ACE for money off GFuel. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.